Before 1859, there was no such thing as Suez Canal. Basically, Europe had very little to do with eastern countries such as India, Burma, and Thailand. Before 16th century, very little was known about Australia, but the urge to explore new avenues had led Vasco da Gama to reach Kerala of India and Columbus to discover America. Around 16th 17th century, the world trade had not developed to that extent, and there was very little to give or take other than the spices which India produced in those times. To reach India, Vasco da Gama had to cover the whole area of Africa. In those days, there was no Suez Canal as such, but in later years, as people became more conscious and came to know about the little land that joined Africa and Asia, people thought of separating these continents for their interest. In 19th century, science came into existence in the real sense of the term. Number of inventions started coming up. Iron and steel had started taking shape into machineries, and number of European countries started feeling the importance of trade. On one side of the little land that joined Africa and Asia was Mediterranean Sea, and on the other side was Red Sea. People knew that if this patch of land covering 193 miles, if cut and removed, and Mediterranean Sea was to join the Red Sea, the trade between the West and East would become easy, and they will be saving around 8,200 kilometers of torturous journey all the way around the Cape of Good Hope. Lot of time will be saved, and lot of expenses incurred on oil will also be saved. Suez Canal is not a natural passage joining the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea. Suez Canal has been constructed. This canal separates African continent from the Asian continent. The construction of Suez Canal had started in 1859, and it took 10 years to make it. The construction of this canal was done under the supervision of French engineer Ferdinand de Lesseps, and it got ready in 1869 and was inaugurated on 17th November of the same year. When Suez Canal was first opened in 1869, the canal consisted of a channel barely 8 meters, that is 26 feet deep, 22 meters, that is 72 feet wide at the bottom, and 61 to 91 meters, that is 200 to 300 feet wide at the surface, and to allow the ships to pass each other, passing bays were built every 8 to 10 kilometers. But between 1870 and 1884, 3,000 groundings of the ships occurred because of narrowness and depth of the canal. In 1876, improvements were made, and after repeated widenings and deepenings, by 1960s, the minimum width of canal became 55 meters, that is 179 feet, and depth was increased to 10 meters, that is 33 feet along its bank, and around 12 meters, that is around 40 feet. Passing bays were also improved, and new bays were constructed. For further enlargement, plans had been made in 1964, but the Arab and Israel War took place in 1967, and the canal had to be blocked, and it remained inoperative until June 1975. When it was reopened, the improvements and its enlargement were recommenced. In 2015, the Egyptian government invested around $8.5 billion to upgrade the canal. This project significantly increased the capacity of Suez Canal. In 1870, there were about 500 transits in a year. That comes to around 2 ships crossing the canal per day. In 1966, there were 21,250 transits, an average of 58 ships passing through the canal per day. The tonnage had also increased significantly. In the beginning, it took 36 hours for the ships to cross the canal, but it has reduced to 18 hours. That is, now the ships take around 18 hours to cross the Suez Canal. Originally, the canal did not permit two-way traffic, and the ships had to stop in the bay to allow the passage of ships coming from the other direction. But in 2015, a new 35 kilometers, that is 22-mile expansion running parallel to the main canal was opened, thus enabling two-way transit through the canal. The expansion project, launched by Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in 2014, was basically a part of an effort to boost Egypt's economy. Other than the transportation of cargo, construction of the canal led to the growth of settlements and civilization, which previously was uninhabited arid territory. About 70,000 acres of land was brought under cultivation, and about 10,000 commercial and industrial centers cropped up. The Suez Canal was the outcome of Venetians and French speculating upon the possibility of canal through the isthmus in 17th and 18th centuries, a canal that would make it possible for the ships of their nations to sail directly from Mediterranean Sea to Indian Ocean. It is said that at first the digging was done by hand with picks and basket, but later on dredgers and steam shovels were operated. Thank you for joining. Please don't forget to subscribe the channel.